nothing happened in my studio the last week. We painted the second time, but it's still a mess. So the big reveal of my new studio is going to wait a while because we hit some roadblocks. It's a really old house. So, but today we're knitting the sleeves and the body on the onesie. It's pretty simple, but we do have to pick up some stitches on the underarms. So I'll be showing you that, and then we'll knit down to the cuff and knit the cuff, and we'll knit down to the body. You're going to cast off the sleeves because we're going to be done with those today, but you're not going to cast off your body because we will be doing the pants, of course. There are a couple of different ways of separating the sleeves from the rest of the body. I have a video where I'm showing you how to do this on waste yarn. You will just get a needle like this and you will put the sleeves on yarn. I have a lot of these cables from my interchangeable needle set, and I'm just going to put mine on these instead, so that they'll just be held by that. And the point is that you can put these stoppers on, so you'll use the needle to put it on the cable, and then you'll put the stoppers on so that they'll be contained. So, and I have two, of course, because I have two sleeves. I am on a right side row, I think. Oh, here we are. And the first thing I am going to do is to knit up until the first stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to put the center stitch here onto the sleeve part. So I am going to remove my stitch marker, I don't need it anymore. And then I will grab my needle here with the stopper on the other end. And I am just going to drop the yarn, we don't need it right now. And then I will slip all of these stitches, so first the center stitch, and then all the stitches in between. And by the way, this is a 5.5 and these are 6. It doesn't really matter, it just has to be, or it will be easier for you if it is smaller, this needle that you're putting your stitches on. If it's bigger, it might be very tight. Alright, when we get to the other side here, I will take that. Then I'll remove my marker, and then I will also go and grab the center stitch here, so the first stitch on the other side. So now I have all of my sleeve stitches on this needle, and I will just pull it. So now I can remove this needle here, and I can put in a stopper instead. So now the sleeve is on its own here, and I'll just fold this. I'll put the cable here out to the side and grab my yarn, and I'll continue to knit on the other side here. So now I am on the back piece. So I'll just knit all the way across, and then I will grab the other set of stitches with the other cable and the same needle, and then I'll put some stoppers on that too. Now your needles are on the stitches for the body, so you're just going to work in stockinette as we've been doing, all the way down. There will be no increases or decreases until we get to the pant part. I'm going to take off my needles here because I want to show you the sleeves now. So I'll just grab these and screw them off, and I'll attach them to the sleeves instead. Now if you wanted to work in the round here, you would get a much smaller cable, or you would get some double pointed needles and put it on that. I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to work in magic circle. That's sort of my preferred method for most things, but it doesn't have to be yours, and if you don't like working in magic circle, just get some DPNs. Now, of course, I just attached my needles and then we can move on, but if you need to pick up stitches from waste yarn, you'll get better instruction in the other video that I did about this. Now, we're going to pick up some stitches in here first, and then we're going to work in the round. But first, we're going to attach our yarn here. In order to pick up stitches, we are going to use the sides here that are left by us changing directions in the knitting. So we're going to go under here, pick up a stitch. If you're not comfortable doing this with the needle, then get a crochet hook, it'll be easier. I'm going to the next piece of yarn you can see here, pick up a stitch. We'll go into the ladder here in the middle, pick up a stitch. On the side. And the last one is going to be there. So, now we know what to do. Now I'm going to show you a little bit closer, just so that we know what to do. So attaching in the yarn is of course a little bit of a pain right here because it's annoying that it's there. But what you're going to do is you're going to go on the top here and you'll find a piece of yarn that is sort of hanging here. And all you're going to do is go in and grab the yarn and pull it through. Now if that makes too big of a loop, you can go in through too and just get it. You don't have to be afraid that this is somehow going to break and you're going to do it wrong. As long as it's attached here, you're doing it completely right. Of course, you need to not work with your tail here. It's just about to pull it with me in. So that is the second stitch. I also just found a piece of yarn at the top here. And then of course here in the middle, there's the ladder. It's easy to see. And then over here, this needle is in the way. We also have some yarn laying here. I'll just go in and grab that. And the last one is there. And I'll go in here and grab that. What we're working on is essentially the sides here of these stitches up here. Where we started to work in the round, we sort of left a couple of sides that would otherwise be attached to each other this way. They're sort of been split from each other, and we can work in those and pick up stitches. There are going to be left some gaps. You can already see here that there is a little bit of a gap here, and we'll just close that when we get back. Now, we want to work knit stitches, so we'll just turn here. Well, that's my preferred anyway. And we'll work back over our new stitches here, and we'll knit all the way around. So this is the magic circle part. Just going to push in the needle that is bare, and you're going to pull out the needle that has stitches on it. That's all there is to it. And you'll just continue knitting. So, okay, let's pretend that I'm coming up for a decrease here. So I have this, this ends in this stitch, and I'm just going to knit two together. There. Just gonna try again. Knit two together. Then we're gonna knit to the other side. Here. And I also have the stitch that ends in, these are my decrease rounds, or my increase rounds, sorry. They end up here. Again, I'll put in my bare needle, and I will pull out my full needle and get this tail out of the way. and I will slip knit this. So slip 1, slip 2, and knit those 2 together. And every decrease round is going to be just like that. When the sleeve is done and it's long enough, you're going to switch to ribbing. And again, we are going to do a 2x2 rib, so that is 2 knits, 1 and 2, and 2 purls. So, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around for as long as it says to. Now, when you look at it, the sleeves might be a little long, and that is on purpose. You want children's clothing to be adjustable, if that makes sense. You kind of need it to be a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, but in a way where you're able to fold down the sleeves and fold up the pants so that it will fit any kind of child, because sometimes they grow like crazy and they might have longer legs or shorter legs, and it's just easier if it's a little longer than needed. Next week we'll be looking at knitting the pants for the onesie, and hopefully there'll also be a written pattern for you to look at. And have a nice day.